We have some major breaking news as Zane Smith has signed a multi-year contract extension with Front Row Motorsports and will return to Front Row Motorsports in 2026. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to your video. As I just said a second ago, we had some pretty massive silly season news this morning as it has been announced that Zane Smith will return to Front Row Motorsports in 2026 and has signed a multi-year contract extension with Front Row Motorsports. Here's a statement from Front Row Motorsports this morning. He's back. We're excited to announce that we have agreed to a multi-year extension with Zane Smith. In a statement for NASCAR.com earlier today, Front Row Motorsports announced Thursday it signed Zane Smith to a multi-year contract extension to remain the driver of its number 38 Ford. Smith joined Front Row Motorsports Cup ranks this season. In addition to Smith's extension, Front Row Motorsports announced crew chief Ryan Burgundy will remain atop the pit box for 2026. Zane Smith, of course, has gotten the chance and opportunity to return to Front Row Motorsports over the last year or so to take over the number 38 car. And so far this year, Zane Smith has looked really, really strong. He's been without question the best Front Row Motorsports driver this season. I believe he currently sits 26th or 27th in the regular season standings, but he's leading the stats for the organization so far this year with the most top 5s for the organization, the most top 10s for the organization. Has looked really strong at times, a couple top 5 runs. He's had top 10 speed in a lot of races so far this year. Hasn't had the best luck on the racetrack so far at times, but this move absolutely makes a lot of sense. Zane has earned the right and opportunity to stick around with the Front Row Motorsports organization. He's been with Front Row Motorsports for many years. He won a championship with them back in 2022 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and has picked up a lot of wins over the years in the Truck Series, of course, and has a couple times here come close to picking up wins and victories. Now, what are the expectations for Zane Smith going into the 2026 year? The goal is to improve. I think there were a lot of people going into this year that had really high expectations on the Front Row Motorsports organization. People thought there would be a chance that Front Row could have all their cars compete for playoff spots this year. I thought there would be at least 1 or 2 guys that had a shot of getting top 20s and finishing in the top 25 in the points. It hasn't really been that level this year, but I think because of the expansion, I think that's hurt the program. But I think the goal for Zane next year is to continue to take steps forward. Go from being a guy who's getting just a few top 10s every year to having several top 10s in the NASCAR Cup Series. Go out there and get maybe like 7 or 8 top 10s a year, get a couple top 5s, and try to jump from around that 25th to 27th points area up to around that top 20 area and put yourself in a potential possibility of making the playoffs. Join that goal and join that ranks of people like your Carson Osbars, like your Michael McDowell's, like your Kyle Bushes, your Bubba Wallaces who are battling every time on the bubble, like potentially Daniel Suarez who will be with Spire Motorsports next year. Look to kind of be in that general area next year. I think that's the goal not just for them, but kind of be on the same level where Spire is, because Spire, there was a lot of comparisons between Spire and Front Row with their expansions and their growth in recent years and their improving technical alliances with their program. I really believe that Zane Smith, though, has a lot of potential. We've seen what he could do with Spire Motorsports last year, and I think it's good that he'll have stability with the team and program for 2026 and beyond. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's not just a one-year deal, but it's multiple years. He's probably going to be with the team probably close to the end of the decade. I have to guess probably like 2028 or 2029 is probably how long this deal is going to be with the program. And I think Zane Smith is someone that has a ton of potential to be really successful in the sport. And I think this is a fantastic and really good continuation with this partnership for next year. I'm really excited to see what he can do in the 2026 year with this team and program. Now, the next big question we have to ask is what's going to happen with the rest of the program for 2026. I do believe that Todd Gilliland does have a multi-year contract with Front Row currently at the moment right now to continue driving the number 34 car. He just came off of having a really strong run at Talladega, finishing in a runner position. And while this year has not been as strong as I think a lot of people are really hoping this year, I think a lot of people can see that Todd Gilliland does have a ton of potential to be really successful. And I think Todd Gilliland's someone that should continue being with this program long term, as he's actually the youngest guy in the group at Front Row, but he's been considered the leader with the experience that he has had in the past. So I think that you're going to see some good success from Todd, hopefully, and I would expect that Chris Lawson will probably continue being the crew chief for him in 2026. The other big question is Noah Gragson. We do not know how long Noah Gragson's contract is with Front Row Motorsports. Indications have been that Noah will be back with Front Row next year, but nothing's been officially guaranteed at this point. But I would like to see Noah stay in this car. I know it's been a struggle for Noah this year, but of course he joined the third expansion car for the team, and there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get that program back up and running. I really believe that Noah Gragson does have a lot of talent. I think he's shown some good stuff at points this year. It just hasn't had a lot of the luck that you need. He's had top 20 speed a lot of races, but then just something happens to him, unfortunately, that costs him a chance to get those really good finishes that he definitely deserves. The other big question we have to look at is the truck program. There's nothing been officially confirmed for the truck program next year, but it is expected that both Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith are going to be back with Front Row in 2026. Indications are that Chandler will continue driving a number 38 car truck next year. It'll be the first time that Chandler has driven for the same organization in like 5 years. The last time he had multiple years with the same organization was when he drove for Kyle Busch Motorsports for a few years there. I would expect that he'll be probably back with Front Row, and then Lane Riggs is also expected to return. Lane is wanting to run some Cup Series races next year and even some Xfinity Series races next year, so I would expect that both guys could potentially do that in 2026. Chandler got the opportunity to attempt to run the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Unfortunately, things didn't go well there, and Lane Riggs, in my opinion, does have a lot of talent and a lot of potential. There has been some rumors earlier this year that potentially Front Row was looking at expanding to a third truck next year. Taylor Gray's name got brought up as a possibility for that third truck for next year, but I'm not entirely sure if that is going to happen at this point. It would make sense to continue having two trucks for next year. I know Ford has some questions around that with their development, among other things, but I think that Front Row would be smart to continue having Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs be part of the program. Both drivers are very talented and really, really good, and they both, in my opinion, have shown a lot of promise in the truck side of things for Front Row, which the truck series is still a lot of things in flux right now. We got announced today that Landon Lewis is going to be with Nice Motorsports the majority of the season, which that's going to be really exciting. But going back to Zane, I'm excited for Zane. I'm really glad to see that he'll continue being with the program long-term into the future and to sign a multi-year extension. He had a contract up after 2026, I believe, so to sign his multi-year extension is a really good deal. He won't be going anywhere anytime soon, and that means that that's one driver likely off the checklist for 2027. There's a lot of drivers who are going to be free agents after 2026. Guys like Kyle Larson technically will be on the hot seat, though I do expect Kyle Larson to sign an extension. Alex Bowman is technically going to be a free agent after 2026, though Hendrick could sign an extension with him. Kyle Busch is going to be a free agent at the end of next year, and many don't know if he'll be back with RCR after 2026. Austin Dillon only signed a one-year extension with RCR. There's a chance he can go into the leadership side of things. You've got other drivers that are unknown right now. Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell, don't know what their contract situation is, but they both could be free agents at the end of this year. And there's a lot of other drivers that could be free agents. There could be drivers on the move to different organizations going into 2026. Ryan Blaney's contract, I believe, is up at the end of 2026, I'm pretty sure. Could a team like Spire play for him? Who knows at this point? But going back to this with Zane, this is a great opportunity for Zane to continue working with this program for 2026. I think Zane is going to have a ton of success with Front Row next year. I think he's going to have a really strong run with the program going into 2026, and I'm excited to see if things can improve. I think there's a good chance things will get better for Zane as they'll try to make the playoffs for the first time next year. In the Cup side of things, I think Zane could potentially get a win next year if Front Row can improve their equipment. We'll see how Zane Smith does, though, in 2026. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Zane Smith joining Front Row Motorsports and returning to Front Row Motorsports next year. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Notifications on so if I win a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's get to more of that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. I think Zane Smith will do once again at Front Row. Do you think he'll show improvement next year, or do you think he'll regress next season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If any other major news breaks later today, we'll discuss it live on the channel. We're also going to have the Xfinity Series race picks coming up here later this afternoon as well. And tomorrow on the channel, we'll have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days. We're going to have the Truck Series race review as well. Then on Saturday, we'll have reactions to the Cup qualifying, the Xfinity race, and probably that Sam Hunt Racing announcement. We're going to probably be doing a video on that with expected to be announced. Potentially Harrison Burr might be going over to Sam Hunt Racing next year. And then on Sunday, we'll have the starting lineup video for the Xfinity 500 and the race review as well. Potentially Shane Van Gisbergen video. And then Monday, we're going to have, of course, the NASCAR news video, along, of course, discussing who will make the championship in 2025, who actually will win the championship for the Truck Series. We got content coming on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bob Wallace, Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Frankie Muniz, Cletus Zafar, Dodge Ram, Connor Zilch, Junior Motorsports, Todd Gillen, Michael Jordan will have an update probably on the lawsuit later today too, so expect the video on that coming out soon as well. And other drivers we'll talk about in the coming days, weeks, along with Jesse Love and Eric Jones and all that too, and as well along with Will Brown, Brock Feeney, Cam Waters. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.